Hello and welcome to this Orks codex. It's not Warhammer Wednesday or Warhammer Wednesday. It is a Saturday, hopefully, if I've done everything right. I thought I'd just do this video quite quickly because I've just had my little visit to the GW in Norwich. I thought I'd come back and show you like a review of the codex. I mean, I know it's very early times, I've only just got it, but I have had a good read through for the past hour or so. Good read of all the rules and things. I think I'm quite up to date. I've got some feedback as well from people in the store, what they think works and what doesn't, and I've looked at all the models in there. I've also got a couple of codexes that I'd like to compare it to. I know it should be taken as a separate item, but nonetheless that kind of helps me with product reviews and overviews and things like that. So that is what I'm going to do today. So this is the brand new Ork codex. It came out today on the 28th of June. I do have an Ork army. It's a small Ork army, but I'm intrigued because this is the kind of like the first codex to come out after the new rules. So it's kind of built around the new rules and the objectives and things like that, so it's like the first one. And obviously I've got my Ork army, so obviously kind of had to get it. The last codex, I believe, for Orks, I think it came out in 2008. Let me just double check that for you. Well, I've got this codex here, which is 2007. Apparently, I've got some notes in there. It says 2007, and this was by Phil Kelly. And straight away, you can see the contrast. It's thin. I think this one was about 15 quid. So new one is double the price, but it's a similar number of pages. But look, you get some colour with the models, but then the way the army list is just really dry and not very inspiring. And then you've got this, which is just black and white artwork, and it's just black and white throughout most of the codex. So yeah, you're paying more nowadays, but look what you're getting, guys and girls. Bang! Green straight away, and then you're getting lovely colours, and you know, it really is both a showcase and a codex. It's what a codex should be, really. So I'm comparing this to the old one, which is just head and shoulders above. So just not really any comparison. I need to rework my army lists and things for it. But I'm also comparing it to my Space Marines codex, because the Space Marines codex is kind of like the be all and end all of codexes, in my opinion. It's almost 200 pages. It's full colour. It's absolutely lovely. It's got 2-page spreads here and there. I mean, it's incredible. The difference, though, that you get is your Space Marine codex. You get some units, but then you have to go to another page to see them again with their points. So the new layout for the Ork codex, which I think is brilliant, and they've almost just got this right, almost. Let me just zoom out my camera a bit. There we go. That's probably better that now, isn't it? So what you've got here is you've got like a load of story and fluff and some really nice pictures. Some, you know, Ork clans and their culture with a K, which is awesome. Some, you know, some War for Armageddon and some fluff and some nice pictures and things of the new models, which are really nice looking. And then you've got war gear list, but then straight away you're into the units. You don't have to go from the units to the units again to work out the points and you know, the squads and things like that. You can just start with bang, there's your war boss. He's 60 points. He can take these things like heavy armour. You've got special rules, war gear, but then yeah, you do have to flick back to take weapons from the range weapons and melee weapons, but you're only having to go to page 53 now and again. You've got everything that you need there, and it's got the special rules, and it gives you the page numbers like the Space Marine Codex does. It gives you the page numbers. It doesn't give you the page numbers in the rule book because they're probably going to make different versions of the rule book, and it might be different pages. But either way, I think that's really, really awesome that they do that. So that's your unit. What I am a bit on the fence about is the big pictures of the models. Yes, we know it's a hobby, but you've got a lot of pictures, you know, back in the book, and I don't know. I think they're always trying to push the hobby, which is fine, and I think they're trying to get younger players in and get newer players in, and kind of, if they've got big pictures of what the models look like, then you know what to pick up, which is fine. But I would have preferred artwork for them instead of the models, and some people will argue with me about that and say, well, no, they're really well painted models, so they should be there, because you shouldn't actually forget that these models are, well, these units are models. They have models themselves. Okay, that's fair enough. Some may like this, some may not, but they're pretty big pictures of miniatures, and they still manage to just pull it off with how close they are to them. But still, it's difficult. I mean, I'm really being nitpicky here, but I would have liked them to be the same size, not different shapes. I mean, most of them are kind of like the same size, but then you get different squads and things which are a little bit different. But there you go. I really like it. I love the layout. I love how you've got what it is. You've got a nice little story about it, or him, and you've got the points, and you've got the rules and things, and then, you know, the unit composition. And I really, really like the new layout. I love the colour pictures. I think they're awesome. Like I said, I would have liked some colour art instead, but you know what? It's fine. You can live with it. There's some nice units and things. Now, there's a lot of ideas and thoughts on the internet of why Games Workshop have done it this way, but it's just rumour and speculation. Unless Games Workshop have actually come out and said it, people do think that they've brought out the models first, and then they've brought out the codex. For whatever reason, they've done that, and I think that's the worst thing you can do, because you're still going to get people that go into the shop, pick up the copy, read through the rules once it's out, and go, actually, you know what, the rules aren't that good, I'm going to skip on the codex. I suppose you are, you know, grabbing in people that like the models, and they'll buy them anyway as an impulse buy, but I think you're just miffing off the majority of people, the majority of hobbyists, if you do it that way. It's a gamble, and they're doing a lot of gambling, GW, but I think you must play it safe. Unfortunately, you must bring out the codex first and bring out all the cool models later. I know that wouldn't work for this codex, because as you can see, there are, you know, pictures of the new models, which is why you've got to go back to your artwork, and, you know, and if you've got artwork for the model, you can then, you know, you can then go, oh, well, I wonder what the model will look like later. Or if you haven't got any artwork for the model, put classified, or, you know, do what Forge World kind of sometimes do. They get away with putting classified, and then they bring out a model later on. I mean, I know it gives you the opportunity to take pictures of the new models and then bring out the codex, but I really think playing it safe and bringing out the codex first gives hobbyists the opportunity to look at it, read it, find out what's good, what's bad, because if they're really, really bothered about the rules and competitive play, they'll do that anyway, and if they're really not, then they'll buy the models anyway. So, you know, it's not really, it's difficult to view it on both of those sides. I think that I just think that it works better if you just bring out the codex, because it doesn't annoy or aggravate your hardcore user base. That's the Gorkanaut and its rules. I'm not really that bothered about the rules. I just, you know, I'm in the group that think it was really nice model, and then the rules, you know, yeah, they're all right, they work. Flash kits, you've got, they've all got snaz guns, which is awesome. and then you've got Gazgul and you've got Stomper. The one thing I found in this book though is everything is so cheap, like 100 points. Deathcopters, Dakajet, 110. I mean, things are so cheap. Well, I think they're cheap anyway. Boys, 60 points for 10. 10 Space Marines, it's 150. But anyway, you can't really compare it. But yeah, I really like the new layout. I love how they've done the points and pretty much as they can fit rules wise and things in the actual descriptions. I think it really works. And I love the appendix, how everything is in the appendix. I think before you had some rules at the front. Well, maybe not. Maybe on the Space Marine Codex you had, but it was split. So you had the points and some of the rules in the back in these boxes, and then you had the special rules and the issues and the war gear. But then you had another separate thing for all of the actual units. I mean, I would have liked the artwork like the Space Marine one, but instead of the main pictures. But that's just my preference. Other people may prefer the pictures of the models. And then you've got chapter tactics, and then you've got the huge thing about the fluff. But I love how the appendix is shows all the weapons and the rules of the weapons and things like that, and then it goes on to the vehicle equipment and armour, and I think it goes on to the psychic powers, which is awesome, and gifts of Gork and Mork. It's a bit like relics. And Ork detachment, you've got 3 troops as compulsory, so you have to take three lots of troops and 1 HQ, and then you've got optional 2 HQ, 6 troops, 3 elites, 3 fast, 3 heavy support, 1 Lord of War, 1 fortification. You've got tactical objectives, and then you've got a reference, which is awesome. I much prefer them doing it this way, where you can have all of that out, and then for a weapon guide, there you go. So you can just have that out when you're playing a game, and then if you want a reference, you can go back and just look at the actual unit rather than have to look at a different, a third place. So overall, I think it's a really, really excellent book. I think it's an excellent codex. It is 30 quid, so the same. I think the Space Marine one was about 30, so I think it's the same price, if not a little bit less. But it's half the size. Well, it's a bit more than half the size, about 104 pages, which is very similar to the old codex. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. If you've got an Ork army, no matter how big, this may well bring fresh life into it. I haven't seen an Ork codex for absolutely ages, and it's incredible that they've got Lords of War in the codex. Like the Stomper. Gazgul's a Lord of War. The Gorkanauts are heavy support, but I think it's cool that they're now putting Lords of Wars in the codexes. I think that's really, really awesome. It's an excellent book. Some really good rules in there. I will be reading it more as time goes on, and I will be doing some more. I will be doing some bat reps. Hopefully I'll be using Orks, and you'll see some of the new models. In fact, I've actually got a unboxing and review of the new flash kits, and I'll upload that on Wednesday. I thought I'd just put this video up today because it's new, brand new out today, and I've got an Ork army, and I thought I'd show it to you all over the weekend, because sometimes I don't get that chance or that opportunity, and I get it on a Monday or Tuesday of the week, and I think that might be a bit too late, especially if you're thinking about popping into your GW this evening or tomorrow. So I hope you have enjoyed this little flick through and look at the book. It surprised me. It's better than I thought it would be in terms of the funky little things that they've got in the codex and the funny rules and things like that. It's a very fun army. It's not a deadly serious, ballistic skill is high and the weapons are awesome. It's just going to be a fun army to play, and that's what Ork should be. So if you have enjoyed this review and comparison in a way, please do thumbs up, like the video. If you haven't, if you thought it was rubbish, you know, at least tell me why, and tell me if you disagree with any of my points. Put your opinions on it, but only if you've got the codex, really. I mean, if you have just flicked through it, it's difficult to get into a debate, because obviously I've got it and you might not have it or have access to it, and if I start bringing up things that you might not know about because you don't have it, then that's where it comes difficult, because then the debate kind of falls off, because I can, you know, quick reference, and it might be difficult for someone not to do that with the points that they then raise in to counter my points. So please do that if you do have the codex or have access to it. But apart from that, if you have had a look through it in the store or your friend's got it, and you disagree or agree, put it in the comments below. This is as much of a, you know, forum in a way than other places, and it's your chance to get your word out and tell everybody what you think, and they can see that. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks for joining me today. Take care.